I think everybody did a good job, and we had a lot of voters. I know people waited in line, but I was really happy to see lines because I was happy that we were getting a lot of votes that day.
I bet you were kind of concerned that maybe with COVID-19 going on, you have all these vote centers opened up, they're staffed, you got all this extra equipment that you've purchased and gotten ready for the whole big day, and then have nobody show up would be kind of a letdown, huh? So people were okay with hanging out in line and just waiting, and no real issues, huh?
We got a few complaints about hanging out in line, but we have 25 vote centers. You can go anywhere you want, and they chose to wait in line. So we mostly had lines in Prescott Valley and some lines in Chino Valley, but Prescott was actually not very full. And I know the Cottonwood area and the Verde Valley, we had a few lines, but not very long.
Did we see a lot of early ballots by mail come in on election day, where they were just being dropped off at vote centers as well as the boxes as well?
I don't think we saw as many as we thought we were going to.
No, we only had at the end of election night, we call them our late earlies dropped off. We only had 7,500, and that really is very low for a presidential general election. I think I had more lines for early voting than Lynn had lines on election day at our vote centers.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good to hear. Okay, so people got out and they went out and they got their sticker. I voted stickers.
Yeah. Yes. And for those people who got in the mail, they still get a sticker.
I saw a few of those on election day, and those are you guys pick a local. Is it a contest through the schools that the I voted sticker came from? Just real quick. Yes, we did that. We had to do it last year. We went to all the high schools throughout the whole county and asked for stickers. How to do stickers. We had I voted sticker competition, and we were very surprised when we got about 500 entries. It was amazing how many entries. And little did I realize there's hand art like I did in school, and there's digital art. So when all of the entries came in, we realized we had to award 2 different stickers because you really can't judge something that's hand-drawn versus digital art. So it was nice. And one of the students from Camp Verde High School won, and one of the students from Prescott won. Nice. Okay. All right. So election day, no problems for you guys. Did you have folks showing up at the elections department to watch you work? Because I know you've got a room there. We did a show with you over there on Fair Street a while back, several years ago, but I know there's a place where if people want to come and watch the elections take place and how it works, they could do that. Did anybody show up?
Not on election day. We did have someone show up yesterday, but we weren't counting yesterday because we were all caught up till we process the late earlies. So we didn't have anybody show up before the election day or on election day to watch.
Okay. Can we go ahead and talk a little bit about how the counting process takes place? Because I've noticed that the numbers that I saw yesterday morning have not changed this morning. Am I right about that?
Correct.
Okay, so how does the counting begin and how does it take place?
So the counting begins 14 days before the election, and we start counting the early ballots. And our goal is to count all the early ballots that Leslie has received and processed by election night and put out those results at 8 p.m. on election night. And then the vote centers start coming in around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on election night. And as the vote centers come in, we count those on election night, and the tallies will change several times. We were done about 3 in the morning. So they changed till about 3 in the morning. And then we have to wait for Leslie's crew to process the late earlies and the provisionals before we can count again. So we never have anything really to count the next day. We're working on duplicates. So the ballots that wouldn't go through the machines that we actually have to hand duplicate, we work on those. And Leslie's team works on getting the voter history in from the polls and then working on the early ballots. Did you have a lot of duplicates to do? So for hand duplication, we had about probably 1,000. We get a lot of those from our uniformed and overseas citizens. They fax them in. It's a special federal program, so we have to duplicate the faxed ones.
Okay, all right. And then you've got to check everybody's signature too. I think, Leslie, you were telling me the other day that you've got to take all these early voter ballots that come in and compare them to the ballots that are posted at the vote centers during the day. You have to compare them to make sure people aren't double voting.
That was the voter history that Lynn was talking about. Once all of the people have voted on election day, then we get a file from her e-poll books, and it gets converted so that it can be uploaded to the voter history. That way, everybody that voted on election day now shows the voter history. That was done yesterday, later afternoon, and then we can start processing those early ballots so that we can make sure that somebody mailed a ballot and then maybe went, oh, I'm worried it didn't get here, and we got it on the last day. They run in and they voted Lynn's elections on election day at her vote centers. We need to be sure that history gets uploaded so that when my team starts verifying signatures again, we can catch any double votes. And normally that's done just out of people's caution. They're worried they sent it in late or they dropped it off late. So they'll drop it off the day before or over the weekend and then run in and vote on election day. So it's just another audit and a fail-safe so that there's no double voting.
Did you guys see a rush in early in-person voting? Because I know up until a certain point in time at the county recorder's office, you could actually show up at Fair Street there or the Cottonwood Annex and vote early in person. Did you guys see kind of a rush on that the very last day that people could do that?
Yes, we saw. We were steady. Yeah. We have never seen in-person early voting like we did this election.
Oh, wow.
It started off busy. We had people here consistently every day. Of course, a lot in the very beginning, and then the last 2 days, we had a line around the building in Prescott, and they had lines out to the ballot box in Cottonwood on the last 2 days. We asked people to vote early, and they did. Yeah, no complaints.
That's amazing. All right,
yes.
let's take our first break. Okay, for election results, you can go to yavapai.us/electionsVR. That's just Yavapai County elections, or you can go to the Secretary of State's office and check them out for the whole state. This is Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman in studio with us today. Also, Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable. Stick around, Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born, and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're talking with Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman and Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable about the November 3rd general election, which of course just ended. They got you a chair, Lynn. That's nice. All right, let's get down this part now, because I'm sure what I see on the election results so far for Yavapai County is it seems almost split down the middle all across the board. Just about all the races seem to be too close to call. Is that what we should be saying right now? Is that it's just too close? There's still plenty of ballots out there and counting to be done?
I think there's a lot of ballots out there left,
Right.
and I hope that we can get to count them all before people start calling races, because there's 10,000,
Yeah, a little over
10,000, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Leslie told me yesterday morning it was about 10,000 ballots that still need to be counted. I checked with Patty Hansen in Coconino County. She says they have roughly 13,000 ballots. That's an awful lot of ballots, and when you've got races that are, just maybe 1,000 or less apart, that could change a lot of things in time here, in a short period of time.
Yeah, and sometimes it does, and sometimes the trend is just set, and both candidates or all candidates get the same number and just move up by percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happened both ways.
So what's our process now? There are set goals that you have to reach for this election in order to call it done for you guys. So what are the next steps coming up in your world over the next several days here?
Well, as we talked about earlier, we will be checking all of those late earlies. We will be getting those all into the system, transferred over then to Lynn for her early boards, because there is a process. What we always like to tell everybody is accuracy over speed. Just because a ballot was dropped off late doesn't mean it still doesn't go through the same process as every other ballot did that we got earlier. We still have to check that signature. It still has to be reviewed by Lynn's early boards. And then we also have our cure period. So anybody whose signature doesn't match our rules, we're still contacting them, and they have up until the 10th to cure their signature with us. Sometimes it can be by phone. Sometimes they come into the office, but people whose signature does not match have that opportunity for 5 days. So the majority of the votes will be done
Probably this weekend.
This weekend, yes.
Yeah.
But we still will have those few that we're still trying to contact to have them try to cure their signature, because our goal is to count ballots. We boast on voter turnout. So that's, we're doing everything we can to get those ballots counted.
Now, we talk about that every time you guys are in, too, that voter turnout in Yavapai County is pretty much phenomenal. I think it's the best statewide. Is that right?
So far, yeah, we're at 81% last time I looked, and last time I looked statewide, we were the most percentage-wise.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yes.
It's great.
A very engaged county. It's a very engaged county here, that's for sure, when it comes to elections. Yeah.
We love our votes.
So the ballots, we still obviously, you said by the weekend we should have them all finished up and all counted. So do you think you'll be done by the end of the weekend and ready to go? Because I was talking with Patty Hansen in Coconino County. She said it'd be like next Thursday, Friday before she's completely finished with all the ballots up there.
Yeah, the early ballots should be done by this weekend. Then we have to work on the provisional ballots. And the provisional ballots take a little bit more research and time for us to accept those. So, and we had about 800 and I can't remember the number. 845.
845. Yes.
845. So we have to look at, Leslie's team has to look at every single one of those, make sure it's valid before they send it over to me to be processed and counted. So we'll probably get those early next week, and we'll have those in the count early next week. We're hoping to be done counting probably about Thursday next week. And then we have our official canvass on November 18th at the board's regularly scheduled meeting in Cottonwood.
Right.
Okay, so the next board meeting on the 18th is when the supervisor will be canvassing the vote then. That was going to be my next question. So once that's done, then it's up to the individual counties to canvass the votes. And then how does it work for the state? The state's got to canvass all the votes as well, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So once the counties canvass, we send all those results up to the state, and they aggregate them, and then they have their canvass. It's the first Monday in December. I don't know what the date is. Okay. It's always the first Monday in December.
All right, and then the statewide canvass will be done, and is that U.S. wide, or does each state kind of have a different way that they handle that sort of thing?
No, each state has their own laws about canvassing and when their deadlines.
Okay, all right. I noticed the governor yesterday started tweeting out don't start calling winners yet. We're going back to the calling the elections too soon. The governor sent out, well, he sent me an email. He sent out several tweets too as well that, you know, every vote counts. So there's still thousands upon thousands of ballots across the state that need to be counted. So I guess we're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. You know what's really nice is I'm glad to hear that you guys didn't have any issues at the polling places. You didn't have any controversy or anything. A couple of the police agencies sent me press releases saying, hey, we're going to be ready if there's any problems at polling places. And I was really happy to hear when I talked to Leslie yesterday that there were no issues going on at the polling places. People were very respectful of each other. This is your right to vote. This is your right to vote. You have your opinion and your people. You have your opinion, your people. And then Patty Hansen had said the same thing when I spoke with her as well. Oh, this was on Tuesday, I'm sorry, during the election day. So I thought that was really nice to hear that everyone was kind of just letting everybody participate and do their due diligence, you know?
Yeah, we were really happy about that. I think we heard from one police agency all day long, and it was just about an inappropriate sign that got put up at one of the polling places outside the 75-foot limit, and it just had a vulgar word on it, and we sent somebody to take it down. But that's the only time we heard from the police agencies.
That's good. That's good. I'm really glad to hear that they weren't busy doing things on election day other than what they normally do, and didn't have to come out and deal with elections. Let's take our second break. When I come back, I want to find out what's in store for you two next year. All right? All right. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman in studio today, along with Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left in the program. Yavapai County Elections Director Lynn Constable and Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman both in studio with us today virtually to talk about the November 3rd general election and what still needs to be done before we can actually call it done. Yavapai.us/electionsbr is where you can go for election information, or just go to yavapai.us. Bottom right-hand corner, there's the election information down there as well. All right, so this year is going to be over. I know these are the big years for you. The presidential election years are the big years for you. Not that you're not busy every year, but this year is especially busy for you. What's coming up on your plate for next year? What do we have to look forward to? I'm guessing there's going to be 4 elections.
There's 4 election dates for next year. We already have one in March, so we already have a jurisdiction that's going to be on the March election, and then we have the city of Prescott next year for their primary and general. Before we move off of this year, though, we'd like to dispel a few rumors that are going around the internet about Sharpies. Yeah, there's a rumor going around that Sharpies, if you use a Sharpie on your ballot, it doesn't count. That's not true. We give out ballot marking pens at the polls and at early voting, and those all count. All of those read. You don't have to worry about your ballot not reading. If you used a Sharpie and it bled through, it doesn't really matter. The machine still reads it. And we've also heard another rumor that after 2018, DHS took over the printing of ballots and there's a watermark on the ballot, and that's not true. I still have the ballots printed for Yavapai County. Patty still has the ballots printed for Coconino County, and there's no watermark. So both of those things are just not true. People are afraid that their ballot's not going to count, but I got to tell you, that's all I've been doing is counting ballots for 2 weeks. And our 81% turnout should show that. I didn't make all those up, believe me. I just counted them.
I don't think you're that creative, Lynn.
I am not.
I don't think so.
Okay. It's not creative.
So next year will be kind of a quiet year. What do you do to fill in all the time where you don't have elections going on? There's other things you do, right?
A lot of training. We get all of our certifications. We get our training done to keep those all current. After every election, we have our post-election meetings. Lynn has it with her team. I have it with my team, and then we get together and talk about what went good, what we need to improve on, and we move forward. We may be looking at new equipment. Mm-hmm. We're always looking for upgrades and improvements. So that's what we do in the off years when we have smaller elections, and then train, not just for ourselves, but for our inner staff and for our seasonals that come back a lot. We include them in our training as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
There's so much stuff always to do, and the contracts. Lynn has contracts that she gets with all of her vote centers, and those have to be reviewed. And every year we have legislation that always changes a lot of our procedures, because election and voter registration is always one of the gets a lot of attention at the legislature, a lot of bills. So we're going down to the legislature, talking to them, either promoting bills or trying to amend or kill stuff that comes up that wouldn't be necessarily a good practice. We work with the other counties to do that. And then once those laws are set, after signing die, then we have to start implementing those. And that could mean reprinting every one of our documents that we submit. It could be a redesign of Lynn's ballots.
Wow. Well, we got 30 seconds left, and I want to thank both of you for taking time out of your very, very busy days right now to sit down with us for just 30 minutes to talk about this and clear some things up and kind of give us an idea as to what it's going to take to finish the November 3rd election. So I appreciate it very much. And we'll talk to you again, I guess, next year. So happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to both of you. And we'll do it that way. But Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman, Yavapai County Election Director Lynn Constable. As always, we thank you for watching and listening, and we will talk to you again next time.
Thank you.